What's Cooking Wednesday, and we have a special list today of Floowandereeze. I want to believe that's how it's pronounced, and it was played by my friend Jeff. He top aided the regional not yesterday, 2 days ago in Georgia, the Bainbridge regional, and he's here with me now. Jeff, how are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm alive. We're chilling. So, how was the regional overall?
Uh, so it was kind of weirdly one of my favorite regionals I've ever been to.
Well, I mean, you got second
Uh,
place.
well, yeah, that too. Um, but they hosted the regional in the it was in one of the colleges that was there in like the basketball gym. So like
That
they just had like
sounds like the old regionals that we used to have all the time in Atlanta. So you didn't play back then, but the original regionals that I used to go to, they were hosted by Phoenix Games or whatever from Florida. They were all at Life University, and every single regional was held inside that school's gymnasium. It was super weird.
yeah, so like they so for time like they literally use like the shot clocks for like
Oh, that's cool.
the
I
basketball.
don't, I don't think we
So
got to do
literally
that.
So literally, it's like when time was up, you knew it because the buzzer would go off
Oh, I have
for
fond memories of,
eight
of the Life
rounds.
University ones. I don't think I could manage that for 8 rounds though. Although I guess similar situation, they held a WoW regional at the same time. You tell my age a little bit there. The World of Warcraft trading card game, and the Leroy Jenkins card required you to yell Leroy Jenkins when playing it. And we're over there playing in our Yu-Gi-Oh regional while that is going on, and every few minutes you hear someone go Leroy Jenkins, and it was so annoying. It got so old so fast. The first like 3 times it was funny, but then you realize that apparently it was a meta card or something, and it was just so many people just into it, just yelling it. Ugh. So I can't imagine the actual buzzer just buzzing. Although I guess it would be kind of cool though, because there's no disputing when time ended. You definitely heard
Yeah,
that.
yeah. Oh, oh,
Like,
yeah.
all right, so did I
It was
pronounce the
certainly
deck
something.
right?
Uh, I mean, sure, it
I
like
think I said
Floowandereeze.
flow.
I
Yeah, I
have
think it's
no idea. Yeah,
Floowandereeze. Yeah, I don't know why I said flow. It's Floowandereeze because it's like flew, wander, and breeze, right?
yeah, something like that.
Floowandereeze. I don't know. There's like an eagle, a penguin, and whatever else. All right, so let's jump into this deck list. So we have Floowandereeze and Eglin. Eglin?
Yeah,
Eglin?
Eaglin.
Eglin. That makes
It's
more
Eagle.
sense than eagle. Yeah, just said eagle.
Yeah.
All right,
So
take it
so
away.
Eaglin and Rabina, like it's just the standard like 3 and 3. These are like your starters. Rabina searches you any of the other level ones. Eagle searches you any of the like the two tribute guys, and like you just want to see these. And then we have we're Eagle. Why you moving? Uh, we have one Shree, one Toucan. I don't care if people say talking. It's a toucan. I'm not saying talking. Um, these are usually just more like utility and like they don't actually really do anything on their own. So like I some people will play two toucan, especially during like if a format with like runic is heavy because runic's going to be banishing a lot of your cards. This will just allow you to re-get those cards from your banish pile, and Shri will allow you just to banish one card from either graveyard, and then you get to keep normal summoning. So at one point, I was able to in the last round between Toucan, Stree, and Dreaming Town, I was just able to keep looping this card, like this combo, just so I could keep doing the normal summons on his turn. So I would be able to have the Apex Avion negate like twice in a turn, and like he was down to like top decking and just could
See,
never out
so
it.
you mentioned Apex Avion. You finally mentioned a card in the deck that I actually know what it is.
I mean, I'm sure you know
Yeah, I know
cards
some of the
better than
cards in the picture. I'm just saying it's the first time you said a card name that I actually know the card. That's all.
So then we get to like the two tribute guys. So Impin is like the heart and soul of the deck. Uh,
Good old Penguin Boy.
whenever you tribute, yeah, whenever you tribute it, you get to search your deck for any flu, spell, or trap. And then while it's on the field and tribute summon, your opponent can't activate any monster effects of special summon monsters in attack position. So like anything that's like a link dependent strategy immediately gets shut down. Um, so like I didn't play any Unchained, but Unchained is like one of the freest matchups because everything that they do. So like to be able to remove this guy would just for the most part have to be a link, and it's
So
just like
so
they
he's
can't do
just
anything with
a
it.
floodgate then.
Yeah, he's literally just a floodgate.
2700 floodgate. Not bad, not bad. Good little penguin.
And
Good little penguin protecting his
yeah,
babies.
yeah. So you also have the it has an effect where like during the damage step, like you can just banish a card from your hand and just like have the monsters that's battling its attack and defense until the end of the turn. So like it can allow you to get over big things too.
That's what's up. That's
So
what's up.
so like yeah, so like battle isn't just like a good way to do it if like that's what they're trying to do. And then you have like your more tech ones where it's like Apex Avion,
Ryza,
Ryza, like
yeah. I remember when the Rise of the Mega Monarch shot up in price like a year or two ago when this deck came out.
yeah. So like the biggest thing that this can do is if you open Dimension Shifter, which is like the best card in the deck because it shuts down so many things, um, everything else that you're gonna do is gonna get like banished. And so to be able to activate it again, like you have to have no cards in your graveyard.
Yeah.
So if you summon the Rise on your opponent's turn, you can target this thing in your graveyard, put it on top of your deck, and then guess what you're drawing for turn. And then you have no cards in your graveyard, you activate it again, and then you go again. And so you can just like constantly keep your opponent under the Dimension Shifter, which most decks can't even do anything about.
Yeah, it's rough stuff.
And then like the flu spells and traps. Advent is like a searcher. You have to banish a wing beast from your hand, which you usually do not care about because all of the level 1 guys you can add back to your hand whatever you normal summon any like a wing beast. Like you can just like straight up add it back to your hand from the face up banished. So like even doing this doesn't hurt because it helps you chain block so you can play around Ash. And then you'll gain 500, so like it can come up where you can win in time just because you can just gain 500.
Useful.
Map, yeah, map is like the best card. You reveal a level 1 wing beat or a level 1 flu monster, and you banish a flu card with a different name from your deck, and then you get to just normal summon after that. So it essentially allows you 2 normal summons a turn.
Important when you need to tribute two for a lot of your big boys there.
Yeah, so like all of the flu monsters for resolution, like part of their effect is you get to do the thing that it does and then normal summon. So
Gotcha.
it's just like just a big conga line of birds, and
Amazing.
so being able to do this can allow you to play around like if something gets if you don't have a way to stop like a Veiler or an Imperm or an Ash, even at least just being able to normal summon the guy can still end up like being good because if it does get stopped and you just happen to hard draw one of the big guys, you can still just go, oh, okay, my regular normal summon tribute, and then just keep going if need be.
Cool, cool. And I see the rest of the deck is looking like basic stuff here. We have the dualities, the other pots,
Yeah.
and then you have the dusters, the thrust, the storms, the etc.
Yeah,
So
like
is there anything in here that's different than most flu decks?
I mean, it's just like maybe ratios. Like some people will play 2 of this card just because it allows you to tribute just about every kind of towers monster there is besides exactly Final Sigma.
Gotcha.
But it also says any opponent's card. So like there's if you some like thing to play around like Tikaboo, which will just absolutely shut this deck down, is if I'm siding something like Nib and I have this card, like I can tribute one of my little birds and their Tikaboo just to tribute summon Nib. Because this card does not specify
he is normal
wing
summoning a Nib. That's what's up.
Yeah, because it gets around. And then 3 Featherstorm in the main. Like some people like to side this and play Blind Go second builds.
I remember when this card came out. Never thought it was going to amount to much. Look at us now, boys. 3 in the deck.
Yeah, because it literally is just an auto win button against like every deck, except for maybe Lab if they just happen to open like 4 traps and just say set 4 pass.
And you can search Harpy's Feather Duster. Oh, it's so good.
Yeah, if for some reason they just go, if for some reason they want to blind destroy some back row, you can be like, well, okay. But for the most part, it's just a lot of targets that you can search off a thrust, like Prosby Duality. You're just trying to dig for the certain few cards that you need to just do the combo and win. The extra deck doesn't matter. Most of this is just like leftover, but like the only card that I actually summoned from my extra deck During the tournament was Anima one time, just because I ended up running out of tribute guys. They just all got banished, which was unfortunate. And like just trying to do something, it didn't end up working out. Typhon can be cool against certain decks because like you can just slap it over anything. So if you try and start your combo with just like a little bird and they just go Ash or something, you can just go, okay, crazy, Typhon. And then like you still have a guy.
Yeah.
Uh, you play the Zeus package with the Lyrlus, the downer to stack on top, and then Zeus just to get like a.
And you say
Usually
you
it'll
did make it though the entire tournament.
Yeah, I did. Like I have made it in the past, but
It's
like
just
it
not this
just
regional. Wasn't
yeah
relevant.
yeah
Is there in
some
case it comes up, but it didn't come up
yeah
this time. Gotcha.
yeah it just didn't come up this time. And then for like anything that you just can't out, like you could just go through the conga line of guys if they have like a zombie world on field, where you can just normal summon all four of the little birds on their turn if they can't get rid of it, and then like in your turn, if you know you can't tribute, you can just like Underworld Goddess take their whatever thing and just have like a body.
And what is the card between Cosmic Cyclone and Dimensional Barrier in the side deck?
Herald of the Abyss. So Herald of the Abyss is for exactly X Purely Noir. Um, it just says like while it has five or more materials, it is unaffected by the activated effects of like your opponent's cards. So this one, it just says like it forces you just give a type and an attribute, which usually they only have the noir on field that will meet those that specific type and attribute,
Yeah, and then they have to
and
send
then
it to the grave.
and then it makes the player do it, so it gets around it.
Yeah.
And because it's a normal spell, it's searchable off a thrust. So like if they use the noir on whatever, you just go thrust this card, activate. Oh no, where'd my monitor go? Um, can you see my monitor over
Yeah,
there?
I see everything just fine. Nothing changed on my
Okay,
side.
it went out on mine. So, but like most of the extra or the side deck is like it's just simple things. Like Book of Moon, it's good going first or second. First, you can put it in; it'll help you dodge stuff like Imhern Veiler.
I do love that Book of
Um,
Moon has become meta relevant again. I was so excited when I saw that during the Castira format. I love Book of Moon.
yeah, and like um, like Cosmic Cyclone, Tikaboo shuts down the deck. You just want to have a quick play out to it. Some decks are playing. I know like branded and anything that like is going to like tier that can mill a lot or that can specifically send cards to the grave. We'll play the net was it Necroworld, Banshee, and Zombie World. And like Zombie World hurts because I have no zombies to tribute summon. So
Yeah.
so again, I just need a quick play out to that card. Um, so it's there for exactly those two purposes. The Ash Blossom, just consistent, going second card.
Yep.
It's good.
For when you need
Nib
it.
combo, yeah, nib combo stuff. Dark Samorg came up like twice. Round 7, I just absolutely bricked hard game 1, even winning the die roll. Got smoked by Lab. So game 2, I put it in. I completely ignore going for the impin line because I happened to hard draw the Dreaming Town, and so I just uh, I just went straight for Dark Samorg going first. So I put Dark Samorg on the field, and I back it up with Featherstorm and the Dreaming Town to be able just to continue playing on their turn if need be. And because Dark Samorg is treated as a wind on the field, it can still trigger the Featherstorm.
Yep.
So literally, when I flipped the Featherstorm, and he was like, "What do you have?" I was like, "It's treated as a wind on the field." He goes, "Oh, yeah, we'll go to game 3." And then game 2 or game 3, I just kept it in because I was like, it's an auto win against him if I can get him to a
I mean,
point
yeah, if it
where
sticks,
he
like he
has
knows it's there,
if
but
it
who
sticks, yeah.
cares?
If
Like,
it if it sticks and he can't do anything about it, it just wins. And so I I think it was like turn 4. Um, I was able to draw into I had a thrust, and so it just I had to like I did combos. I didn't die on turn 3, like he was just setting more stuff, and then turn 4, I was actually able to get him to do something with a monster that monster effect that actually like turned on the thrust. and he cleared my like he used it was like the one of the labyrinth people that like just lets you pop cards when a monster leaves the field by a normal trap.
Yeah.
And so he cleared my board for me, and I activated thrust, searched evenly. I evenlyed him, and then I had still in my hand I had the Eaglin to be able to search out the Dark Simorgh and the Unexplored Winds. And so he literally just left his field spell up because like that was the that's like his way of being able to pop like extra cards. And so main phase two, I was like, okay, you have literally nothing cool. Uh, so normal summon, or I activated the unexplored winds, normal summon eagle. Eagle searches Dark Simorgh, and then I tribute his field spell and my eagle to stick the Dark Simorgh. And he literally couldn't do anything. Like he just had like lab monsters in his hand, and he's like, so it just ended up like straight up winning game 2 and 3. And he had never seen the card before in his life. And I was like,
He'd never seen Dark Simorgh?
bro, when the old knowledge comes
my
in,
goodness. Man. I was about to say, man, as a Time Wizard format player, I only play old formats these days. Like I said, I haven't played since Toss. Is what I was telling you earlier. So, like, I know what some of this stuff does, obviously. I mean, I did just mention Cash a second ago, but, like, I don't fully keep up with the game. But when you hear, like, somebody's like, I didn't even know what Dark Simorgh did, I don't know, man. It makes you, it hits different. Like, me not knowing new stuff is not, it just doesn't feel the same as someone not knowing a classic card. Like, so many people tried to make Dark Simorgh work over the years, you know what I mean? Like, all the ninja decks and just everybody always trying to play some Dark Simorgh. And even in Edison, there's the dark turbo decks with Dark Simorgh in it now. And
like, it's weird because, like, the deck doesn't, like, want you to special summon. Because if you special summon like in a turn, you can't activate any of the little bird's effects.
Yeah.
But like technically, like if you have like a dimension shifter and like any of your big tribute guys that are in the grave, you can still theoretically just like banish,
drop a Simorgh. Just drop it against decks that need it. I mean, it makes sense. Like I understand why the card is there. I was just surprised that the guy had never heard of it, and that was the main thing, the main take from that. All right, so we talked about the deck a little bit. We talked about some of the plays you had. So what was your overall record?
So I was X-1.
What did you lose to?
7-1. I lost to Lab, just straight up, just bad plays. It was right before lunch break.
Oh and, man, you were hangry, dog.
hunger, tiredness, just bad plays.
And I'm sure what everybody really wants to know. We see the deck list. We hear the record. What'd you have for lunch?
It was a barbecue sandwich, some sour cream and onion chips, and a Dr. Pepper.
As a man who lives in Italy and does not have access to Dr. Pepper or sour cream and onion chips, I'm a little jealous. Although sour cream and onion, you can get sometimes. It'll pop up here and there, but like overall, I can't just go to the store and get some Lay's sour cream and onion. It's just not a thing. Like.
Yeah, sometimes. It was not my first choice, but they were out of the Cool Ranch Doritos. So,
hey man, you do you, man, you do you. All right, so you're 7-1. What do you remember the matchups like rounds 1 through 8?
I believe so. I still have the pairings page pulled up because they had online pairings, so it makes it a little easier. I know round 1 it was Rescue Ace. I opened Harpy's Feather Duster both games. It was just a blowout. It was literally just like
cheater.
It was literally just like I put up tribute guy. He has to do all of his things in defense, so just to even be able to play. So, like he can't actually clear the impin, activate Feather Duster, blow out all of his traps, and then just OTK. Round 2 was against Kashtira Red Eyes. I got to Unexplored Winds, a Dragoon. That was kind of fun. And then like I literally didn't even see a single Kashtira card until game 2. I thought he was just playing Red Eyes.
You thought advantage,
but he
just no engine to the deck. We just Red Eyesing it up.
Well, so literally the only cards that I saw were just like hand traps and like I think he set like the little Red Eyes, like the baby metal dragon that just searches you a Red Eyes card, and like he linked it off or something just to get the effect, and then like got the Red Eyes fusion. sent both vanillas. Like he was playing like DM and Red Eyes to get like the double pop
This
effect
man
on the
was going
Dragoon.
in, dog. Why'd you have to
Yeah, so
bully
then
him like that?
and then game two, like he started activating Kashtira cards, and I was like, where did this come from?
I
I
mean,
didn't see a single one of
I
these.
think game one, I would assumed Cashier was there just because the way people throw Cashier in stuff. But the fact that you just said he had like the red eyes black chick thing or whatever it was, and then linked it off, maybe I would not have expected the cash as well. Because that's just like, I don't know. He's playing both Red Eyes and Dark Magician. I mean, we talking about what's cooking Wednesday. Where's this guy at? We need to get him on here. He the one really cooking,
Yeah,
man. Let him cook,
yeah,
Jeff.
because like game two, I think he went first and like he made flare metal, and oh, I don't even know what the card was that he saw, but it was like a number monster that was like a rank 7. I've never seen that card in my life, didn't know it
It was
even
like
existed. And then
Joker, one of those.
no,
No.
this was like newer. I
Okay. I was just
I
trying to think
couldn't
of
even
some
tell you.
obscure rank sevens. I don't know. Whatever.
Yeah,
Anyway, that man was really cooking. Too bad you bodied him. Anyway, so let's move on. What was
yeah.
round three?
Round three was Tri Brigade, um,
Yo, did
Tri
that still
Brigade,
exist?
Fire Kings.
Oh, the Fire
The
King build.
Tri
The Fire
Brigade
King.
Fire
Yeah,
King
yeah,
first, yeah.
yeah.
And game one, I don't remember. I know I saw Shifter game two, and it just was the absolute nut. But like, I don't think game one was like okay, and just kind of ended up being able to pull it out. But like game two, it was literally I go second, I open Shifter, and he just can't play.
I mean,
And then
floodgates win games, man. That's
yeah,
this modern
so
Yu-Gi-Oh. You either wombo combo or you get hand
mhm.
trapped and lose. Like,
so so game two, he was still under Shifter. Like I knew he had the Fire King that negates spell and traps. So I activated my I activated the map. He negated, pitched his Kieran to trigger the negation because he had to discard or destroy a Fire King. Um, so he destroyed the Fire King, and then I was like, oh, that's a monster effect. Okay. Uh, went talents, look at his hand, and it was Circle of the Fire Kings, Ash, and Droll. I was like, well, Droll's useless, Circle's useless, Ash go bye bye, and then full combo. And then from there, it was just like he couldn't do anything. And then round four was Rescue Ace again, and then that was the one loss. Literally got down.
I thought you
I
said you
was
lost a
gonna get
lab.
the no, I did not lose the lab.
Oh,
I only played it
I asked
once.
what'd you lose to, and you said lab.
No, it was race. I said race.
Oh, okay. I mean,
Um,
we got this recorded. We could roll it back, but anyway,
it was
continue.
yeah, it was round four against Rescue Ace. Just misplay game one, grabbed the wrong card, which would have just like absolutely like grabbed the wrong card off the M pin. I got the Dreaming Town. Should have just got the unexplored winds. I would have been able to get rid of his one thing that was left, and like just like I would have been able to clear the turbulence. I opened Feather Duster. Like it was like it. I opened Shifter Feather Duster. Like I was literally clearing his whole board. He was
So,
just
so
gonna have
what
like
you're
two
saying
things.
is, if you have Feather Duster, you just beat Rescue Ace every time, huh?
Well, yeah, they have a monster that just says set four cards from the deck, and all of them are interactive. They're not negates, so you just go Feather Duster, and then they have a guy on the field. That's it.
So what you're saying is, they just ain't good enough for you, dog. You just dusting these folks away, just dusting them away. You're raising the winds with your bird feathers. You're dusting them away, man. I feel you. All right,
Yeah, I
so
still
Rescue
ended up
Ace,
losing.
Rescue Ace, Dark Magician, Red Eyes,
Yeah, Red Eyes
the round
Cash,
one
the Tri
guy,
Brigade. Yeah, Tri Brigade,
Fire King. Yeah.
Tri Brigade Fire King, and then so then we have the lunch break, get some food in me, caffeine, tired, come back. Uh, round five was against branded, like pure branded, not Chimera. I opened Shifter both games. He lost all of his follow up just trying to play through it, and then it was being able to Ryza came in clutch, just being able to out the Mirror Jade without triggering its effect. Stree was funny by being able just to banish his Albion after he used the Mirror Jade to banish. So that way
You're just
he
not a nice
wouldn't
guy,
even get
Jeff, man. As someone who owns the branded deck because I bought it to sell when I went to Nationals in America, never sold it. I'm very offended.
the.
As someone who has the deck sitting in a binder doing nothing but collecting dust because I don't ever go to any tier 1 events ever. By the way, that's what we call it as Time Wizard players. We don't call it modern or advanced or anything. It's tier 1, dog. You either play tier 1 or you play something else. Edison, Tengu.
But yeah, he so game 2 he actually I opened the shifter and he literally he sided in the Necroworld Banshee in the zombie world. And so he wasn't able to do it just because he was able to get the branded fusion, do all of his combo. He just couldn't send the Banshee, which would have just shut me out because I actually didn't side in the Cosmics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Weren't expecting the
so
zombie world game too. Yeah.
Well, so I mean, I should have expected it, but I had the.
But you're
bad.
I got you, dog. It happens to the
I
best
know
of us.
that the only way that they really ever trigger it is by sending it off a branded fusion to make Lubellion.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, it's if I ash this, it's the same thing. But Shifter also does it because he can't send it. He can't banish it from grave after he sends it. So, so that one was a 2-0.
Gets the job done. Didn't need that game 3 Cosmic Cyclone side in. I feel you.
And then so round 6, it was against Purely. I was just able. I think he main deck Droll. Shifter was enough. Just activating it on my turn just to make sure he can't Droll me just so things resolve. And after that, the only card I'm scared about is Ash because the Advent you can use to tribute away your own because it tributes for cost. So you can dodge Imperms, Veilers, all that just with that card. And it actually came up because I did dodge game 1. It was an Imperm, and game 2 it was a Veiler.
Yeah.
But that one was I just never let him get to the to where he can make the big guy. Because I think it went 3 games. Game 1 and 3, it was just don't let him get to the big guy and you win. Game 2, he went first. I just didn't open any hand traps, so it was okay, whatever. Game 2, you're siding in the Book of Moons just because they're gonna try and they have to rank up into using the trap, so they have to just leave the the little Xyz. And then when they try and rank up, if you just Book a Moon the Xyz, they just can't do anything, and you just win the game anyways. And then round 7 was the lab guy.
Yeah, the lab with the Dark Smorg and all that fun stuff. Yeah.
And then round 8, going into the match, the guy I played was the only undefeated, and he was also on Purely. And game 1, we got deck checked before any of it. So we were just waiting for however long, at least 5 minutes. No, neither player got any kind of thing. Everybody was fine.
Keep it tight. Keep it tight.
But it was just so basically what happened is because because of it, by the time that we were in our game 3, everybody else was finished because we started so late.
And everybody was crowding y'all watching now.
Mm-hmm.
Bro, I hate that so much.
By the time game 3 happened, it was just huge crowd.
I hate it so much.
But game 1, I bricked all hell. And then I literally was just trying to do anything to have him bait out any kind of hand trap just so I could do something with the the thrust or the talents that I had. And it was just just absolutely not. And then game 2, I go first. I just kind of set up enough with a Feather Storm, you just can't do anything, and then just kind of OTK. And then game 3, he goes first. He gets to the Noir setup, but I essentially I just kind of play through it. I just ended up top decking evenly exactly when I needed it to, and just I don't even think I even had to use it. I just was able to out the rest of his board with a talents was kind of clutch. Just to be he had Fenrir and just a guy. He had Fenrir and the Noir that had less than 5 materials, so I was going to take the Noir, spin back his Fenrir, but he literally used it just so that way I wouldn't be able to do it. But talents doesn't target, so I was okay, I'll just take the Fenrir then, I guess. And just I was able to banish one of his little cats, and then he got the Fenrir back, but because I switched it to attack mode and attacked with it, I'm okay, now this thing is useless unless he wants to turn it to defense. And then even then, I'm like, okay, I'm not dying to it. It doesn't matter. Um, I was able to use the Dreaming Town effect on his turn to book all of his things when he tried to he made the cat that has like a negation, just trying to actually out the impin. But I was able to use the Dreaming Town to be able to book that and all of his other stuff, and then get to another impin, so it didn't matter. And then
Penguins for
if
days.
he want yeah, so it's like if he wanted to actually do anything, it forced him to have to put things in attack. And then the thing that made the difference was he summoned one of his cats in attack mode, just not even thinking. Um, Again, a lot of people around, a lot of people watching, like 3 judges watching the game because there was nothing else going on.
He tried to take it back.
So he did. They wouldn't let him. I didn't say anything. It was literally just he's like, oh,
Nah,
I
you didn't say nothing. Nah, I want to hear that. And man, Jeff hit him with a nah, son. You spent that's an attack mode. You took your hands off of it.
I didn't. So again, I didn't even have to. Like he went to activate the effect, and one of the judges said, "You can't. It's in attack mode." He's got impin. I was like, I didn't have to say anything. He just went, "Oh yeah," and then
Jeff said he is not a rule shark. There were plenty of people there to witness it.
So legitimately, because I almost lost just from not reading cards, because he summoned the Pure Lily again, which is the other one, just to be able to rank up into, or to be able to go into the same negation again to try and negate the impin, and then like play through with other things. But one of the judges caught it and said, "Wait, isn't that a once per turn?" And so like we had gotten like a couple of plays down the road, and then like he realized like, wait a minute, isn't that a once per turn? Because he saw the other one there, and then like it had to be like rewound to before, and it was just like he at that point like he couldn't do anything with any of the cards that he had, just because to do anything with it, it would all be under impin.
Yeah.
If he wanted to link any of them, and then from there I was able to just like control the board. I think Ryza ended up putting some things back, and then eventually got to that play where I was talking about, where I was just looping the Dreaming Town, the Stree, and the Toucan, just making sure I was always able to, like, just putting up the Apex Avion over and over again. And so like when he was in a top deck situation, it was just anything, like he knew, like he conceded, he didn't even let me, like I didn't have to actually finish it,
Yeah.
just because he knew it was like it's over.
I mean, he was undefeated anyway, right? So
Yeah.
he's like, I'm
Yeah.
guaranteed this first place. Like, it doesn't really matter much. Like, let's just get this over with. Like, he wanted the undefeated record. That's why he played it out. But
Yeah.
ultimately, it did not matter.
He didn't want to be the guy to lose to Flu. I
Yeah,
get it.
exactly. I do want
yeah.
to note though that little story there did begin with Yu-Gi-Oh players don't read. I just
Yeah, 100%.
just making that stereotype. Oh, so true. You're like, yeah, I didn't read the card. I didn't realize it was once per turn. You know, Yu-Gi-Oh players don't read. All right,
Yeah,
so this was your first ever top 8, correct?
At anything higher than a locals, yeah.
Anything
First time I've even
obviously.
gotten like,
We ain't count locals here, man. We ain't count locals here.
first time even getting like Nat's invite too as well.
Oh, my man. So proud. I've known Jeff for like, I don't know, was it been like 13 years now? Something like that.
Time.
12 years, yeah. I met this man. He showed up one day. I think it was, you said it was Dragon Ruler format. It might be a little before Dragon Ruler. I don't know. Ooh, timed out due to inactivity. All right. But anyway, it doesn't matter. We're just talking anyway.
Yeah.
So no, it was post Dragon Rulers, the no more baby rulers, and this man rocked up to the locals, his first competitive tournament ever with Command Knight and Marauding Captains, and then he became the battling boxing.
Wait, don't forget the junk synchron in there. I was making Stardust.
It's a warrior. I feel you. Then he switched over. He's like, you know what? I'm more of a boxing guy, and he played battling boxing. That was the meme. He played it for, I don't know, like a year or more.
Bro, it was like the best budget deck that you could play.
I don't know about all that, man. I mean, you could have just played Frogs, bruh. Frogs ain't expensive. I was in there. I topped during Frogs during the Dragon Ruler, the full power Dragon Ruler format, man.
Bro. Lead Yoke plus Traps plus Kaiser Coliseum, baby. We've been floodgating since day one.
This guy played Kaiser Coliseum before the Boo Jeans. Actually, I
mean, it
think
was at 3. Why
have
would I
been
not?
that might have been after the Boo Jeans. I don't know.
No, it was before.
Had to be before. Yeah,
Because
you're right. Because Boo Jeans what like made the thing to drop, right? I don't know.
yeah, so the Boojins were what made it
Was
actually
like
get famous.
hat, right? It was like around hat format, somewhere around there.
Like right before, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. It's been a long ride. Known this man a long, long time. By the way, I did tell everybody that you got a top 8. Luke Hale already knows. Jesse already knows. All the boys from back in the day already know. I'll tell you that right now. As soon as you told me yesterday, I was like, oh, Luke Hale ain't going to believe this. So they all send out a congratulations to you. It took a long time. It took the game to get way crazier than it used to be, but you finally did it. And I would like to know you did do it without a deck that didn't have like the 10 hand traps in it. You know what I mean? The main deck 9 hand traps, because I've seen a lot of the decks recently. It's like 3 3 3 3 and it's like 12 hand traps in their decks. I'm like looking at deck lists. I'm scrolling through my Facebook feed, stuff like that. Deck list popping up, and it's literally like an engine with 9 hand traps in it. So I will say at least you only had 3 shifters, but you also kind of had all the triple attacks, thrust, and all that stuff. So it's a little different, but I don't know, not as bad as all these decks I keep seeing these days. Is just hand trap heavy. So, but I don't know. I don't play too much modern, so that maybe the flu it gets away with it, right? Because it has all that outs with the spells and stuff.
Yeah, like some lists you'll see if they just build the blind going second, like the feather storms will be in the side, and you'll see usually Ash
in the main,
like just the straight up swap, like the 3 for 3. But I just built, going first, and I was like with the thrust and all the going second cards. I was like, if I need.
So you said you went into this tournament saying I'm winning these dice rolls. That's what happened.
Yeah.
And did you win the dice rolls?
It was I think 5. I think
5 out of 9. That's not bad then. That's not bad.
8, yeah. 5 out of 8.
I will say the last locals I went to for Edison, I lost every die roll. I was so salty. I never went first the entire event, and it made me very, very sad. Because going first is nice and fun. I want a T set, man. It's Edison. I want a T set. I want to set my monster, set my spelling trap. But anyway, again, congratulations, Jeff. Is there anything you'd want to change about the deck? The picture disappeared, but we have enough video content of the picture. Any card you would change in the deck, or you think it's the perfect 40? It's good to go. Take this to an event. We gonna rock out.
I mean, like I don't. I mean, maybe like side deck.
I mean, sides change all the time. Yeah, that's why I said the 40. The 40.
Probably the main deck to me is like the best.
So
I think that you
build the going first build and bring a cheating die. That's what you're saying.
Yeah, something like that.
Something like that.
But yeah, I mean, I didn't even use my own dice. Like literally, it was everybody using their own. And just like, what do you want to do? High roll, low roll? I was like, you pick. I don't care. And then they would go, let's go high, and then roll like a 4. And I'm like, all right, well, you did this to you.
Hey man.
And then I would just roll like a 7 and win. It's like, oh, well.
Hey, whatever it takes to win that die roll, man. I like to use the opponent's stuff too. That way, keep it fair. But a lot of the times, people just don't have dice. I found that.
Yeah, so I think I had to use mine. I think I had to use my own one time.
People come so unprepared for tournaments. No dice, no pencil, no paper, like just nothing. Like,
yeah, I think honestly, like the only thing I think I would change from the 40 is like maybe try and find a way to fit either a third impin or a second, or like place now. Like it does it. Sometimes it comes up. Like against Purely, it would kind of go crazy.
And you did play against 2. But didn't you? You beat both of them, right? So
yeah,
maybe it's not necessary.
Like so, that one to me is like a die roll dependent matchup. Like if you win the die roll in that one, like usually it will go good, even though the last round, like I won the die roll and just bricked, and so I was still like my last 2 rounds were all reverse sweeps, like just doing absolutely nothing game 1, like brick to all hell, and then game 2 and 3 just win.
Hey man, whatever gets you that top 8, I remember we saw the picture pop up and was like, oh my God, is that Jeff? So I reached out and now here we are doing this video. So
It is actually me. It finally happened.
yeah.
The mat is already gone, but the deck box will be here probably forever.
Hey man, somebody you got to keep some of the mementos. I know Peyton's first top 8, he sold everything like within a week. I think he might even have sold the Star Eater mat then and there because his first top was during Dragon Ruler format. Mine was like way back in like Machina format, like when the Machinas came out and stuff. And
Yeah, wasn't it one of the Kissimmee ones?
no, it was like one of the North Florida ones.
Oh man, back when they were still having those.
Yeah, it was one of the
'Cause-
North Florida ones where you actually got to like go over into the other time zone. Like, yeah, Florida with its
Time
two
zones.
time zones. Yeah, you know
Yeah.
what I'm talking about. It was
I
like
mean, so
it was North
it was,
Florida. I remember that. I don't think it was all the way in Orlando because it was in some mall or something. It was at some
yeah.
card
So
shop in a mall. I don't know.
this one, it was actually like kind of similar because it's way down in like the southwest corner of Georgia. So
Yeah.
like there were a lot
Yeah,
of people that were
Bainbridge is
coming up.
Bainbridge is out there. Like that's
So there were a lot of people from like the Tallahassee area that just drove like the 45 minutes up, and then you had people coming from Alabama that had to adjust for the time zone.
yeah.
So going to the tournament, it was like an hour and 45-minute drive, but then going home it was like negative 15 minutes
Time
just
zones,
because
man.
of the way the time. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like if they leave at 6:45, they get home at 6:30, and it's like, how does this work? But there was literally one dude that I played that he literally said, he's like, yeah, if I lose the next round, I think I'm just gonna go home and play in locals because it doesn't start till 7, and I get a time zone to go back. So
That's a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh, man. I don't think I could do that. I don't think I do. I hate long events now. Like, I'm an old man. I hate anything more than 5 rounds. I just want to go home. All the Edison events here, they start at 4 and they end at like 9. I get home at like almost 11 because I have to take the bus back. It sucks. It sucks. Like,
yeah, literally that day, I left my house at 6:30 in the morning. I got back the next day at 1 a.m.
oh,
So
that's rough stuff. But you got back excited and happy because you got your first top 8 ever.
I did,
And
yeah.
hopefully there's many more to come, maybe with Flu, But, in order to get those top 8s, the important thing to remember is you have to show up. If you don't go to these events, there's no way you will ever get your top 8 in. So just keep trying, keep going, go to those YCSs, keep the dream alive, try to beat mediocrity. That's the theme of my channel, being mediocre, Jesus. Being mediocre and hitting that plateau and just staying right there cuz my entire Yu-Gi-Oh career was basically that, I topped a couple things here and there, but I never got that YCS top. I never got that Shonen Jump championship top. I always bubbled out, unfortunately. Never was able to escape that plateau of mediocrity, and that's what this channel is all about. Just it's a shout out to all the people who's trying to have fun, enjoy their hobbies. I'm not saying I'm here to be a fun player. I'm not one of those guys. Play that tier 1 deck. I have nothing against that. You want that cookie cutter build. That's a term that has not been thrown around for a long time, proving I'm an old man. Those cookie cutter decks. Oh, cookie cutter chaos. I don't even think you know about that because that was like 2005 or 6. It was right after everybody was playing cookie cutter chaos, the chaos control decks after GOAT. Anyway,
I mean,
so
I was still playing, like actually playing competitively, no, but like playing against people who did play competitively, yeah. So like I
yeah, see,
remember seeing.
that format was like when I started. My first locals was like Cyber Dragon had just come out like a month ago, and all the older kids, teenagers, college students, all rocking in with Cyber Dragons, and I'm like, I got to do something to beat these things out. And I saw this Fiend Mega Cyber for like $2. I was like, that's my bet right there. Fiend Mega Cyber is even bigger. It's 2,200. We getting over Cyber Dragon with that. It didn't work out too good. Eventually, we picked up some more cards as time went on. But it's being
Yeah,
a
I think that was
broke
like
high school kid. It's rough. It's rough.
I think that was actually the last set that I played growing up, was like when it was like Cyber Dragon, like the Ancient Gear, like Golem and Beast and all that.
Yeah.
Like
See,
I remember
CRV
having
was
Ancient
the
Gear
first
Golem.
set that I played competitive Yu-Gi-Oh. So that was the first booster box I ever bought from an actual locals as well, because I like bought one from locals, overpaid like crazy because I was young and dumb, and I just wanted it right then and there. I didn't want to wait because I had bought Ancient Sanctuary boxes from eBay before. Shout outs to that. I
Hmm.
paid like $40 for them too. It was a good deal. I wish I'd never opened them, but I pulled Zaborg, so I was super excited. And then, I pulled the Ulti Miracle Fusion first edition, and
Oh
I'm
yeah.
shooting myself in the foot for not holding on to that, because those things are insane now thanks to these Time Wizard formats. So we are running
Hmm.
up on like 45 minutes, though. We have been recording for a hot second. Nobody's going to be listening this long. So, is there anything you want to say? Any social medias you want to promote? Any teams? Whatever. Get it out right now.
No, just shout out to all the guys from Statesboro that knew me when I was a scrub, and I'm still a scrub, but
I
now I have a
say
top,
still
so
are,
it's a little
dog.
different.
Don't better
Still,
calm
still
down a
am.
little
It's
bit now.
just scrub with an asterisk. All the people from like from the locals now and Macon, Warner Robins that let me borrow stuff. Uh, just Ollie for helping me like tinker with the deck, like telling me like he was the one that told me to just to play go first, put the Feather Storm in the main instead of the side. And I was like, all right, because I had one just because it's still a thrust target, but he was like, nah, just put three. He's like, it wins you the game if you see it. I was like, yeah, you're right.
Yo, shout
And
outs to
then
Ollie. All right.
yeah, and then shout out to Gabe for driving because I did not want to have to make that drive, and I definitely had to borrow the thrust from Eddie, and he was with us, and so it came in like I didn't see it a lot, but every time I did, it pretty much came up, and I was like, so he just can't play it anymore because he's not going to let me because he said he didn't want to lose to it. So,
Hey man, that camaraderie. He helped you when it mattered. It's the community,
mm-hmm.
right? Community. He helped you when it
Yeah,
mattered.
so yeah, so just like shout out to everybody that's been a part of the journey to get here from
It was
way
definitely
back
a
when I
long
was
one,
a
man. It was definitely a long one.
definitely a long one, but started from the bottom. Now we here. Shout
Yeah,
out to
man.
Drake.
We all can't top early on in our careers and then plateau and never do anything ever again. But it is what it is. It's, and the funniest part about my top is I never told Peyton about it because I never wanted him to feel bad because it was one of the regionals I went to without him. So like I didn't tell him about my
Oof.
top until years after his top 8 because he kept giving me junk about, oh man, you keep bubbling out of these tournaments. I topped a long time ago, man. I just didn't want to like make you feel weird about it. I don't know. It was a weird friend thing. I don't. I just. It was yeah. I don't know why my brain didn't think he would be excited for me. My brain immediately went to, I don't want to make my friend feel bad, so I'm not going to tell him I did this cool thing. Like, I don't know, man. Kids are stupid. That's
True
the
that. True
takeaway
that.
from that. Like, in hindsight, yeah, but back then, kids are dumb. I tried to spare my friends' feelings. I was a good guy back then. But
Yeah,
you
just
forgot
back
the
then.
most important shout out, man.
A shout out to you for doing the deck
No,
profile.
shout outs to shout outs, man. Shout outs to shout outs. Screw me. Nobody cares about me. Ain't nobody listening anymore, man. We have 50 minutes. They're gonna open this video, they're gonna look at your deck list and be like, ugh, scrub. And then they're gonna close it. That's the whole video. Alright, so we have
Would
fun.
have
We're
saved us
here.
48 minutes.
Yep, definitely. But if anybody makes it to this far, for the love of God, comment down at the bottom. That would be amazing. Like, that's all I got to say about that. So I'm in this recording now. So any final words?
Just happy to be here.
All right, I appreciate you showing off the list coming in here for what's cooking Wednesday. So what was cooking today was a lot of fried chicken. All right, so that might be the name of this video, some frying them feathers up in here. So we cooked, we cleaned up with our Harpies feather duster, and we took second place at a regionals. So thank you so much, Jeff, for being here with me, and that's that. Oh, wait, no, that's not that. Like, subscribe, follow, tweet,